So I look for any place that has an opportunity for blockchain. I look for any system that doesn't trust its own communication and look for ways to implement it.
So you're saying that blockchain is essentially giving people an opportunity to build massive things. Why couldn't they do this?
Massive what? Didn't hear that.
Like massive solutions, right? Solutions that only enterprises can build. Well, why can't people just, tie into APIs, build accordingly with those kinds of structures? I mean, a lot of companies, a lot of platforms have available APIs. Why blockchain in particular?
Well, there's available APIs, but then you're still trusting that centralized node. You're still trusting that centralized code and that development team that's putting that API out there. So I'm not saying blockchain doesn't have APIs, but blockchain communication from one database to another using a consensus algorithm is going to there's going to be trust there, or the lack of needing trust in that equation. With blockchain and financials, it's giving people opportunities to be in the financial sector that normally wouldn't. I mean, how many people right now are making profit off of being TAs and trading and knowing how to read charts and doing blogs? And you've seen this huge influencer, space of people that pop up that have no tech skill set, but they're executing in the space, and that's awesome. I mean, take people that are unbankable. Blockchain gives them an opportunity to be banked. Take people that maybe couldn't, build a brand. Blockchain's giving them opportunities to crowdsource. I mean, there's so many opportunities out there. I could talk for hours and hours about different ways to integrate the blockchain technology into all trusted systems. And I think one of my favorite ones is there's a bunch of car companies right now, like Toyota and Honda and BMW and Volkswagen, getting together to create a blockchain so that the sensors on their cars can communicate. And what that's going to do is build an autonomous grid, which will allow cars to, like, let's say a Honda goes through the intersection, it can tell the Toyota behind it, hey, the intersection's clear for you to go through.
Sure, but why use blockchain for that?
Because those companies hate each other, and they're not going to build systems that would trust each other.
So why would those companies build on protocols when they know that these other companies are on these protocols?
Well, no, what they're doing is they're going to build one protocol, and each car will be like its own node. So basically, you're using public and private addresses to send the information, but you don't have to, Toyota's never going to release data information to Honda. Honda's never going to let Volkswagen walk around their data centers with the consensus algorithm. They don't need to let them have that information. They just will give what they need without accessing all of it.
Well, that's the challenge right now, right? It's like you can't even get governments to play ball. You can't even industries can't come to an agreed upon compliance and set of regulations and rules. So I'm curious from your standpoint, how are you going to, how do you expect Ford, Toyota, Jaguar, all these name brands to play ball together and essentially host
They're already doing it. Nodes? They're already working on it. I watched an entire presentation in Santa Clara at the North American Blockchain Expo about this project that they're doing. This isn't something that I just thought of. Mm-hmm. This is one of the coolest applications for blockchain right now, is building an autonomous grid. And think about grid congestion. Think about where we're at right now in this city and how screwed up the grids are here, how screwed up the grids are in my favorite city of all time, but Boston. I mean, it's got one of the craziest grid structures because it was built prior to cars. Well, you can automate that, and you can build a system where those things, they can just move straight through. You won't need stop signs, you won't need stop lights, and everything will move at a lot faster pace. And I think when we get to that level, that's one of the biggest use cases for blockchain that people understand.
And you're talking about the future of autonomous driving as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just left CES, so it's all in my mind. From between the Santa Clara thing in November and CES in January, everybody's moving towards autonomous grids. Everybody's moving towards autonomous driving, and they're looking to go up. Uber Air is a thing now. Bell had their drone, and so you got to look to the future. You can't think about the right now. Obviously, right now it's not going to work because cars get driven by people. But as these technologies evolve, these are the solutions for the future.
Well, to understand the solutions of the future, you have to understand where we sit today. And I spoke a lot. I just spoke on the panel, and I said, a lot of what I believe is that technologies will find their way to intermesh with each other and really impact the development of that technology. Right, so you're not really just working with autonomous driving, blockchain. You're also working with maybe AR, VR. You're also working with other technologies that are emerging as well.
Of course, IoT. I mean, there's a reason why that conference in Santa Clara had 4 different realms. I mean, it had IoT, it had blockchain, it had AI, and it had big data. Because those 4 systems are going to be working together. I mean, think about it. So we built a mobile private key wallet with 23,000 supported assets. It's got Bitcoin, it's got Ethereum, it's got Zcash, it's got Dash, it's got the US dollar, it's got the euro. It's one wallet. It's not a centralized currency. It uses all of them. And so that's where we have to be looking at. We can't have these guys that are building one wallet with one token. We can't have these systems that are thinking about just being one entity. We all have to work together. And we have to put these walls down of, oh, this is better than this or this is better than that, and say, well, how do we work together? For example, Horde. Shout out to Horde. It's a wallet. We have a wallet. You would think that we would hate each other. But no, I talked to Jason and I say, listen, what do we got to do to get your customers, when they open your wallet and they scan our QR codes, for that information to communicate? And it's not hard, but it's about working together. And I think that's one of the other cool things about this space is it's starting to really build a community. I went to 46 conferences last year. This is what I was built for. And I'm just excited to be in the space because it's given us opportunities to innovate.
So is that where you see your value in particular? Your value in particular in the space is innovation.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and code it. I'm going to hire the coder. I'm not going to sit there and run the company. I'm going to hire the CEO and I'm going to hire the COO. For me, I like to look at as many possible integrations that we can have and how to put those teams together, get it funding, get it the operational team together, get the technology built. I'm a founder. I'm the guy that's out there finding these new things, but then I'll put the teams together to build them.
What drives you? Why be the founder? Why do you do what you do?
Because this world basically told me to piss off. I grew up in a place where it's very, very rich and very, very poor. You've got places like Mark Twain's house, and you've got 400-year-old cities. Then you've also got where Aaron Hernandez was born. And he's a New England Patriot guy that killed a whole bunch of people. So it's really weird where I'm from. And I wasn't a soccer player. I wasn't a preppy. I was a skateboarder. And so the jobs that they thought that society said I should get are gas stations and grocery stores and just menial things. So I said, no, I'm not doing that. I went to graphic design school. Then I switched my major to film. Then I worked for MTV. Then I worked for Universal. I made a name for myself in the movie industry. And then the fucking economy crashes. I reinvented myself in nightclubs, and I made a very good name for myself over 10 years in Las Vegas, running the biggest nightclubs out there, $100 million venues, only for the biggest company out there to introduce regulations, which took me completely out of the game. I needed to get a gaming license. I needed to have casino clearance. And for a non-gaming casino location, they shouldn't have to have a gaming license. So what I do, I took a tier 1 job at Google. I took a tier 1 job answering phones. I got trained for 5 weeks. I was on the phones for 7 weeks. I was the #1 stock rank agent in the entire campaign by KPI, by key performance indicators. So when I got into blockchain, I did the same thing that I do over and over again. I figure out how to do it, and I execute, and I execute, and I execute, and I execute. That's what drives me. It's seeing these projects be successful. It's meeting people like you. It's being at events like this. I got invited. I'm from Vegas. I'm not from DC. I've been on a 2-week tour. It started off in Manhattan, went to New Haven, went to Philly, then Baltimore, and now I'm here. And yeah, that's what I love about blockchain personally, that it's given me the opportunity to do these things. And if that, for me, then what has it done for you? And what has it done for your crew that gets to travel with you? What has it done for the people that are coming in, like the panel that we were just on, or that you were just on with someone from Russia and someone from Dubai? And it's powerful stuff. And if you can't tell the passion, I don't know if I can explain it, because it's there, and it's one of those things that just, when I found out about the crypto space and what we could do in the crypto space, and specifically in Nevada with this no license, no tax, no regulation law that we have, shit. And next time you do one of those panels on international stuff, I want in, because we actually created a stable token that's going to be paired with the peso, and we're going through all the legal clearance with the Bank of Mexico, Pro Mexico, and the Mexican government, specifically with the Trade Commissioner. So, and then also we've been speaking with the World Economic Forum, and there's some really cool integrations that they're doing that we might be able to integrate into the ports in Mexico. It's a really cool space to be in.
Dude, it sounds exciting, and I appreciate your passion. I can sense that you're a passionate guy. I can sense that you like to get your hands dirty and kind of just be in the thick of things and work it out. I think that quality is missing a lot of people, and I really do wish you success, and I appreciate you coming to sit down with me.